Coming up tonight on YCN News, U.S. Senate candidate Jim Rubins argues that cutting benefits for military members is not the best option. Concerns over the Claremont School District grading system. And Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin proposes a plan for fighting drug addiction. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Matt McDonald. The buzz following Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel's recommendation to reduce U.S. Army troop levels to post-World War II levels is getting louder and localized. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont says he agrees with some changes to the nation's defense budget, yet some cuts go too far, such as reducing the size of the National Guard. The National Guard makes up about half of the Army's combat personnel, plus over a third of the Air Force, Sanders says. Yet, with this military strength in numbers, the Guard accounts for just 7% of the country's total defense budget. Sanders says it is better to have more National Guard members because multiple deployments overseas would be avoided, and keeping more Guard members in the country would be a cost-effective way to ensure domestic safety. In a related story, U.S. Senate candidate Jim Rubins says cutting benefits for military members is not in the best interests of soldiers.
We've got to deal with our nation's budget deficit, and all aspects of spending at the federal level need to be examined. Everything has to be on the table. The military itself, I don't believe there's justification for the 230 golf courses that the Pentagon owns and maintains. We need to rationalize and reduce our military. We need to pull back on this endless Middle East war policy. This will allow us to save money. At the same time, the United States needs to maintain the world's strongest military.
A former two-term state senator, Rubins is running for the Senate seat now held by Jeanne Shaheen. He spoke to at least 50 people gathered inside New England College's Great Hall. After the meeting, Rubins says he favors a social safety net, one that encourages independence to help people get back on their feet. Keeping a family together as a unit is the best way to improve communities throughout the state. Rubins says reforming the country's medical insurance plan also would benefit the nation.
No, I don't believe in nationalized health care. We have the highest health care costs per capita in the world in America. It's hurting our economy. We need to do things that are bottom-up reforms that increase customer choice, more kinds of insurance, more options for patients and the people of the country. We ought to be able to sell insurance policies across state lines. We ought to take away the mandates that force people to buy insurance that they don't need or want. We need to reform. We need to do tort reform so that there's less defensive medicine. Doctors providing CAT scans and medical services specifically to ward off lawsuits. We need to negotiate the cost of pharmaceuticals. Congress forbids our federal government, the largest purchaser of pharmaceuticals in the world, from exercising buying power to reduce the cost of pharmaceuticals for Medicare, Medicaid, Obamacare.
In a clear sign, Claremont School District administrators heard parents, students, and staff concerns about its grading system. It's now up to the community to take the next step. March 5th is the deadline for surveys sent throughout Claremont on Monday. SAU 6 administrators and Claremont School Board members will revise or tweak how grades and homework lessons are given. Students in grades 6 through 12 also will complete a survey centering on their concerns of the standards-based grading system. SAU 6 comprises public schools in Claremont, Cornish, and Unity. The standards-based grading system is being used in the three communities. Almost 2 years ago, SAU 6 leaders changed from using traditional alphabet letter grades to a system measuring the student's grasp of a subject. From proficient to proficient with distinction and ranges between, students' grades are based on objective measures. Superintendent Middleton McGoodwin says the standards-based system will remain in place, yet with some changes, based on survey feedback. The district is not throwing everything out and starting over, McGoodwin says, following a meeting last week. Stay tuned for more news after the break.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
expert, compassionate care for those who suffer from neurological problems. That's Dr. Lawrence Jenkins' specialty. A board-certified physician at New London Hospital, Dr. Jenkins has over 35 years of experience treating the nervous system. New London Hospital is in your neighborhood, providing primary and specialized services in its state-of-the-art facility. To learn about our services and our compassionate doctors, visit newlondonhospital.org. New London Hospital, your prescription for living well.
The good folks at H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oils want you to know that their philosophy is simple. Wow them with our service. Their EPA-certified technicians are ready to tackle your heating, cooling, or water conditioning system problem 24 hours a day. They take pride in having provided local customers with peace of mind for over 2/3 of a century.
Wow them with service. It's the H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oils way of doing business.
Even if as a Claremont resident you cannot make tonight's Charter Commission meeting, the newly elected panel wants to hear from you and your neighbors. The 9-member board will review the city charter to see if how the city governs itself needs updating. When voters go to the polls again in November, any charter revisions must be approved at the ballot box. Chairman George Cacovero encourages Claremont residents to attend board meetings or contact commission members. Tonight's meeting begins at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall. Comments and suggestions will be accepted until early March, says Cacovero. In other news, Governor Peter Shumlin continues to move forward with a plan to help drug-addicted Vermonters. Shumlin made the rise of opiate addiction in Vermont the center of his State of the State speech earlier this year. Today, the governor signed into law a mid-year budget adjustment to pay for medical and mental health treatment. The extra money also allows for emergency housing services, homeowners and renter rebates, and more. About $200,000 more dollars is added to the state's budget for addiction treatment centers, such as in Burlington, thanks to a bill quickly endorsed by the Vermont legislature. Shumlin thanked the state's Senate and House Appropriations Committee. Senator Jane Kitchell and Representative Martha Heath chair this committee, respectively. Today's bill also earmarks $1.6 million for winter road repair and maintenance, $250,000 for pesticide cleanup in Rutland, and $2.85 million for the Vermont Veterans Home. In all, spending from the bill is about $23.4 million.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Coda & Coda has been providing trust, confidence, and peace of mind since 1941, and we just opened an office in Win Hall, Vermont to better serve our customers. For over 70 years, Coda & Coda has served people of New Hampshire and Vermont with clean, reliable heating fuels. From bio-blended heating oil, propane gas, kerosene, diesel fuel, and gasoline, we're providing quality of our products and our unmatched superior service. At Coda & Coda, you can depend on us. We're staking our name on it.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Matt McDonald. Now let's look at the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow we will have snow showers with a high of 24 and a low of 2 degrees. The snow may continue into Thursday. Highs will be in the upper 20s and lows down to 2 degrees. Friday will be mostly sunny with temperatures in the 20s and a low of 5 degrees. Saturday and Sunday will have similar temperatures in the upper 20s and lows in the teens. And now let's look at the mountain snow conditions brought to you by Ski New Hampshire.
It's Monday, February 24th, and we're at McIntyre Ski Area, enjoying a deep base of snow thanks to several big snowstorms. We're on a fun run of weather, with plenty of snow falling, some warm sunny days mixed in, and now we're back to midwinter cold, ensuring that we'll still have plenty of skiing and riding left to enjoy right through spring. We're in the middle of our February school vacation weeks, and many of our ski areas offer week-long camps so that kids can get out and enjoy the heart of the skiing and riding season. All this natural snow, piled on top of our man-made snow, has made for possibly the best conditions we've had in years. This snow enabled our areas to open all of their downhill and cross-country terrain, including glades. This really is a great time to get out and enjoy winter in New Hampshire.
Well, we have a whole day camp. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, goes till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We got 50 kids in that. They're out there having a great time. We have our morning programs that go from 9:30 to 11:30. Over 150 kids signed up for that, out and skiing and riding, having a great time. Tubing's running all day long. You can absolutely come over and just go tubing, have a great time over there. We have different sessions all day long. It's $19 per ticket, 2-hour sessions. Saturday nights we have ski tubing board, pay one price, come over and try everything for one price.
Be sure to keep visiting skinh.com for the latest lift ticket deals, snow conditions, weather forecasts, 4th and 5th grade snow sports passports, events calendar, lodging information, mountain stats, and much, much more. 33 ski resorts. One stop, skinh.com.
And now it's time to take a look at the results of yesterday's high school basketball games. Newport defeated Fall Mountain 63-49 in a boys basketball matchup. Also last night, Hanover High conquered Bishop Brady 73-70. The game went into overtime, and the two teams showed equal skill. Hanover's John Flory hooped the most points for his team with 31 points. There was another exciting and close boys basketball game with Mascoma facing off against Kearsarge. Mascoma came out on top with 45 points to Kearsarge's 34 points. In girls basketball, Hanover made a staggering win against John Stark High School. Hanover had 61 points, while their opponent only had 18 points.